Jasmine Richardson walks free. A decade after she and boyfriend massacred her family, Jasmine Richardson went from a fresh-faced preteen to a violent goth who slaughtered her family photo via MySpace, somewhere in Canada, perhaps near her parents' old home in Medicine Hat, Alberta, where she massacred her own family. Jasmine Richardson is walking free. It is 10 years since she slashed her little brother's throat and left him to die among his blood-spattered toys, and waited on as her boyfriend stabbed her parents to death in a violent frenzy. 3 months ago, Richardson faced a final court hearing and, freed of any court-ordered conditions, restrictions, or supervision, she offered no apology or expression of remorse for what she had done. Now the 22-year-old is living quietly in the community, at a secret location. Richardson's name cannot be published in her home country, where she is known as JR, and she is even being described as a poster child for rehabilitation. But residents in the ordinary suburban neighborhood, near the Richardson family death house, cannot forget, and are not so sure that Richardson should be living among them. If you're old enough to do the crime, you should do the time, a woman told the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Neighbors cannot forget. April 23, 2006, a bright but freezing spring day, when a young boy spied bodies through the window of the Richardson family home, sparking a discovery that was to make Canadian criminal history. By that time, Richardson and her boyfriend, 23-year-old goth and self-styled 300-year-old werewolf, Jeremy Steinck, were on the run. The neat gray weatherboard home with the gable roof and trimmed green lawn held grisly secrets that would shock the police who attended the scene. It was sometime the previous night Richardson, then age 12, stabbed 8-year-old Jacob to death, while her boyfriend, with her encouragement, murdered her parents. Detectives entering the home found Richardson's parents in the basement and her brother in an upstairs bedroom. They would later piece together the murder scene. Jasmine and Jeremy entered the home and Steinck killed his girlfriend's mother first. Wearing a neoprene mask and carrying a knife, he stabbed 48-year-old Deborah Richardson 12 times, including a 12 centimeters deep piercing to her heart. Hearing his wife's screams, Mark Richardson, 42, came down the stairs to her aid and was set upon by Steinck, who stabbed him 24 times, including 9 times in the back. Jasmine reportedly wanted to take on her brother, 8-year-old Jacob, and climbed upstairs where he lay in his bedroom, and stabbed him 5 times, including a wide, deep slash across his neck. Jacob would be found lying on his bed surrounded by blood-splattered toys. When police arrived, they at first feared 12-year-old Jasmine's absence meant she had been kidnapped by the crazed murderer. In reality, the pair had plotted the killings so they could run away together. Jasmine had met Steinck at a punk rock concert and immediately became intrigued by his goth lifestyle. Photographs on her MySpace page show how the clean-cut young girl began changing under Steinck's influence. Steinck had grown up with an alcoholic mother whose partners abused him. He was bullied by his classmates at school. A court later heard that by the age of 13, Steinck was diagnosed with depression and hyperactivity and later tried to hang himself. Over the next 10 years, he adopted the persona of the 300-year-old werewolf and wore a vial of blood around his neck. He had a user account at the vampirefreaks.com website, and in 2006, he and Jasmine fell in love. Jeremy Steinck, who claimed to be a 300-year-old werewolf, and Jasmine, pictured before she met Steinck. When Jasmine's parents discovered the relationship, they forbade her from seeing him or going out. Online accounts belonging to both Steinck and Jasmine revealed that it was she who came up with the murder plan. Writing to Jeremy online, she said, "I have this plan. It begins with me killing them and ends with me living with you." Another message Steinck wrote on his Windows Live Spaces account about her parents read, "Their throats I want to slit. They will regret the S they have done, especially when I see to it that they are gone. They shall pay for their insolence. Finally there shall be silence. Their blood shall be payment." Jasmine discussed her plans to kill her parents with her friends, but no one believed her. On the night of the murders, Jasmine would later testify. Her brother Jacob pleaded for his life and emitted a gurgling sound as she stabbed him, Steinck finishing him off by slitting his throat. She would later say that she killed him because it was too cruel to leave him without their parents. 2 hours after the deaths, Jasmine and Steinck were seen laughing and kissing at a restaurant. Soon after the pair's arrest, Steinck asked Jasmine to marry him via letters from his prison cell and she agreed. Asked later why they committed the murders, Richardson said, "I loved him so much. I thought it would bring us closer together." In June 2007, age 14, Jasmine Richardson went on trial for 3 counts of first-degree murder. She was found guilty on all 3 and sentenced to 10 years jail, the maximum allowed by Canada's Youth Criminal Justice Act. In 2008, Steinck was found guilty of 3 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to 3 concurrent life sentences in prison, with an earliest parole date of 25 years.